Bro, Jeff, I can't believe you did it. All your blood, your sweat, your tears, your hard work, the sleepless nights of grinding content creation, and you finally blew up. You're finally making a difference for your loved ones and those around you, man. How does that feel? Not gonna lie, I am deeply in love with kids.
Is this nigga serious?
It's been a tumultuous time on the internet since the Drake and Kendrick beef was truly propelled into the limelight. Instead of the usual Minecraft grooming allegations or crypto rug pulls, not that those haven't still been happening, we've had some of the most high-profile individuals from all sides of the entertainment industry, whether it's being a cartoon animator, musician, professional internet lolcow, or even the largest YouTuber in history right now, being exposed for all sorts of heinous shit. A lot of it, and I mean a lot of it, involving children. There have been so many allegations that it's genuinely becoming difficult to keep up with them all, and as a result, I wanted to put them all in one place, while also providing some unique perspectives and information that you may not have seen from all the thousands of other videos beating the dead horse. This is part one of many, as a lot happened throughout June and July, but here is a list of everything I've written about and am currently working on in the order they should be coming out in. Anyway, without further ado, let's pass the blunt o' doom to the first allegation in this series and the catalyst of it, Drake.
What top 5 you smoking on, Kendrick? Cause my top 5 is Drake, 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 Drake.
If we broke it off, then you know it wasn't painless. If she got a watch, then you know it's not a stainless.
Drake and Kendrick have been at odds for over a decade now, with call-outs of each other on songs dating back just over 10 years now to 2013. However, J. Cole reignited that at the end of 2023 by dropping a verse where he called himself, Drake, and Kendrick the big three of hip-hop. It wasn't until the release of Future and Metro Boomin's track Like That featuring Kendrick that the beef was truly propelled into the mainstream, with Kendrick's line, "Motherfuck the big three, ninja, it's just big me." At this point, however, there was still a distinct lack of allegations. It remained this way until Drake made the foolish mistake of responding to Kendrick's verse with a song of his own that got leaked for Shyrock's very own DJ Killer Keemstar, DJ Academics, to later premiere on his stream. He wasn't done there though, because he also responded with another song called Tailor Made Freestyle, which bizarrely included AI-generated verses of the deceased Tupac and the still alive Snoop Dogg. Might I add that the Tupac AI written by Drake, or his ghostwriters, was encouraging Kendrick to talk about Drake liking young girls, which just seems like the biggest self-report. This was alongside claims that Kendrick pushed his album release date later so that it was after Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets department release, hence the name Tailor Made Freestyle. Funnily enough, Snoop Dogg responded with this video on Instagram.
They did what? When? How? Are you sure? Y'all have a good night, and to all. Why off? Everybody calling my phone, blowing me up. What the fuck? What happened? What's going on? I'm going back to bed. Good night.
And Tupac's estate actually ended up threatening to sue, so Drake took it down. Ironically, Drake had also attempted to file a cease and desist against the aforementioned track Like That. However, that obviously went nowhere. Brief side tangent, but J. Cole did additionally release a response to Kendrick. However, he ended up bitching out on it, taking it down in less than 48 hours and apologizing for it live at his Dreamville festival.
Prior to this song and the making of this album right here, I was in a cloudy, dark place, right? I was doing shit, I had talent, I had belief in myself, I had motion, but at the same time, I also had fear. I had fear that maybe I wouldn't get to where I wanted to go. And so that fear had me moving in an unusual way. Now, why am I saying all of that? I put out this project on Friday called Might Delete Later. I don't know how many people done checked it out or whatever, but I put this project out. So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. I damn near had a relapse, right? Y'all heard some shit that happened 2-3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? My niggas like, boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God. Text flooded, I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime, right? Niggas wanna see blood. And I was conflicted because one, I know my heart You know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. So I say all of that to say, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, like goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. All good. It's love. I pray that y'all are like, forgive a nigga for like the misstep and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all, past 2 days felt terrible. It let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years.
That didn't prevent him from catching strays in almost every single diss track that was released from this point onwards though. Anyways, I said foolish because Kendrick was obviously anticipating Drake to respond, and as a result, he released the song Euphoria, which had countless references to claims of Drake being a pedophile, not fitting into the black community despite his attempts otherwise, being a shit dad, undergoing plastic surgery, utilizing not just ghostwriters but AI as well, and having a rat in his camp that is leaking info to Kendrick. I'm gonna just focus on the pedophile claims because that's all that's really relevant. For starters, Euphoria is the name of a show that is frequently criticized for scenes depicting underage people fucking that Drake coincidentally happens to be an executive producer for. There are also numerous bars hinting as much, such as "you make music that pacify him," referring to a baby's pacifier, or "have you ever played Have You Ever," which is an alternate name for Never Have I Ever, a children's game. There's also the line "we hate the bitches you fuck because they confuse themselves with real women," which can be interpreted as referring to the underage girls Drake has allegedly had contact with. I'll address that in a bit though. I'd additionally like to drop an honorable mention to Kendrick's bar, "Ain't 20v1, it's 1v20 if I gotta smack ninjas that right with you," which is not only taking the piss out of Drake's ghostwriters, but is also a direct reply to Drake's line in the aforementioned song that Academics played, Push-Ups, in which he said, "What the fuck is this, a 20v1? He was referring to all the musicians who decided to hop on the Drake hate train, releasing songs like Metro Boomin's BBL Drizzy. Anyways, Kendrick makes it particularly clear throughout the entire track that not only is he holding back, but that he was going to drop another track and it would not end well for Drake if he was to respond. He of course followed through with this, releasing the song 616 in LA 4 days later, in which he yet again declared that it would be a mistake for Drake to respond, this time citing the aforementioned rats within Drake's camp that were leaking Kendrick info. Despite this, Drake released the 8-minute long song and music video Family Matters.
Kendrick is up in his mouth, and I'm about to put my dick in it right now. Then I put it in his ass. Now he running but naked all over my house. I'm about to make him gay tonight.
In which he attempted to address all of Kendrick's claims throughout 616 in LA and Euphoria. Drake also included a segment in this video in which he crushed a van that kinda looked like the one on the Good Kid Mad City cover. Thank fuck this child didn't get his grubby paws on the actual one, because he probably has enough vitriol to actually crush it. This was also the same song where he, for some reason, really decided to go on Kendrick's family, detailing his fan fictions of abuse within Kendrick's household, and claiming that one of Kendrick's childhood friends, Dave Free, is the father of one of Kendrick's children. His evidence is a comment that Dave Free left under Whitney's post with the kids, which he also used as the single cover. That's literally the only evidence. Comically, Kendrick pretty much instantly responded, dropping 2 more diss tracks. These would be Meet the Grams 33 minutes after Drake released Family Matters, and Not Like Us 4 hours later, which, as Kendrick promised, included a lot more new and direct allegations. Starting with Meet the Grams, this song is fucking wild. Kendrick makes it pretty clear that this beef was all meant to be for entertainment until Drake brought Kendrick's family name into it, and as a result, he begins by addressing Adonis, Drake's son, stating that Drake is a dog shit father and he should take Kendrick's advice instead, which is basically just a whole lot of don't be like your dad. Kendrick also offered his mentorship to Adonis alongside stating that he should listen to the song when he's 18 to truly get the messaging. It would be very funny if Kendrick mentored Adonis down the line. I'm hyped to see this go down in 10 years. Truly a generational beef. Kendrick then speaks to Drake's parents, blaming Dennis Drake's allegedly mostly absent father, for raising a manipulative psychopath with gambling problems. As for Drake's mother, Sandra, well, Kendrick goes a bit ballistic. He asks whether she is okay with Drake's misogyny, to then go on and label her son, Drake, as a predator as bad as Harvey Weinstein, who should go to prison and die. Just to be clear, unless he's referring to Drake growing old and dying in prison, I don't necessarily agree. Kendrick follows this up with the claim that Drake keeps sex offenders on payroll at OVO, and that the infamous Drake dick vid was leaked intentionally by Drake himself in order to advertise his sex trafficking ring that he runs out of his property, known as the Embassy, which Kendrick alleges should be raided any day now. All of these claims I will elaborate on after I cover Not Like Us. However, first, let me address Meet the Gram's most important claim. I don't understand how this happens not just once, but twice to somebody, because Kendrick exposed Drake for allegedly having a second child in the form of a daughter. Bear in mind that Drake's aforementioned son Adonis's existence was similarly exposed by Pusha T on a diss track called Story of a D-Don back in 2018. Probably the most brutal idea that Kendrick pushes throughout his entire song is the idea that Kendrick's music could parent Drake's neglected children better than Drake himself can. Moving on to Not Like Us, much like Meet the Grams, this song is very direct to say the least. For example, there's the line, "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young, you better not ever go to Cell Block 1, or Certified Lover Boy, Certified Pedophile, or probably the most famous, Trying to Strike a Chord and it's probably a minor." The video for this is also fucking hilarious. Kendrick pulls up with his happy family to crip walk on Drake's sadness, as well as the whole of Compton to sing along to the song calling Drake a pedophile. It's not the only time he's done this either, with Kendrick performing the song live not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 5 fucking times at a pop-out show, in which he acted as the audience's hype man for 2 of those performances. I cannot imagine how Drake felt seeing a stadium full of people calling him a pedophile.
Hold on, Drake. You ain't gonna say nothing else before, we continue the party?
I'm gonna just need a moment of silence for this.
Psst. I see dead people.
Yeah, Drake responded, I guess. Let's see here. The song is called The Heart Part 6, and he says, "This Epstein angle is the shit I expected." I don't know who the fuck expects Epstein-style allegations, but okay. He also makes multiple weird-as-fuck propositions of sex to Kendrick's fiancée Whitney, with lines such as, "Only fucking with Whitneys, not Millie Bobby Browns," or "Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor." The irony of this is just absurd to me. I mean, one of Kendrick's main criticisms of Drake was that he over-sexualizes women, and so his response is to ask Kendrick's wife to fuck. This is almost immediately followed by him accusing Kendrick of lying all throughout his 4 songs. His explanation for the secret daughter is that he planted a rat in OVO that would tell Kendrick about an 11-year-old daughter Drake had. However, in the same song, he calls the rat feeding Kendrick info a clown. So finally, is Drake a pedophile?
chest. I just want to thank you. It's okay, I'm only 23, I can do shit like that, baby. I can kiss out and take care of her. Still good. Still good, you know?
Okay, it's not looking good. There's also his aforementioned interactions with Millie Bobby Brown.
My adult crush. He's not my crush.
Okay.
Let me get this straight. He's like a brother. He's
Okay.
a brother. I met Drake in an Australian hotel. I was touring, and he was touring too. And honestly, his managers just came up to my dad and said, Drake loves the show, come to his show tonight. And I was like, oh my goodness. And my dad, he was like, I don't know who Drake is. And I was like, are you joking me? Drake? He wants to see me? And I was like, okay, we're going. So I got my outfit prepared, I went there, and he was such a fanboy, and I was such a fangirl that and honestly, we text all the time now. He helps me with everything, like just life lessons. He's amazing. He's a great human being, and we went to dinner afterwards, and we had dinner the next day, and then we met in Sydney.
That sounds like grooming.
About your relationship with Drake. Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
He says he misses you and gives you advice on boys? Bear in mind, Millie Bobby Brown is 14 at this point, and Drake is in his 30s, being at least 17 years her senior. I will note Millie Bobby Brown released this Instagram story defending Drake. However, I wouldn't exactly expect a victim of grooming to identify they were groomed as a 14-year-old. This isn't even the only instance of Drake having suspicious interactions with a child star, as Billie Eilish also said this when she was 17.
But like Drake, come on. Drake is like the nicest dude I've ever spoken to. I mean, I've only like texted him, but he's so nice. Like, he does not need to be nice, you know what I mean? He's at a level in his life where he doesn't need to be nice, but he is, you know?
There is additionally his questionable relationship in 2016 with Hale Baldwin, supposedly initiated directly after she broke up with Justin Bieber at the age of 18. Bear in mind, Drake knew Hale since she was 14, as she was close friends with Kendall and Kylie Jenner. Speaking of Kylie Jenner, here's some photos of Drake performing at her 16th birthday party.
Kylie Jenner's star-studded Sweet 16, we have all the details. Perhaps the most exciting detail of the night is that Drake and Big Shawn both performed. The generous rappers spent the evening entertaining guests and, of course, giving lots of love and affection to the birthday girl. Not many can brag that they've had Drake bestow his gold chain upon them, so Kylie, you go, girl.
There is also the case of Bella Harris, who Drake met when she was 16. He's getting awfully close in these photos. Drake then went on to rent out an entire restaurant for Harris's 18th birthday in 2018 to have a reportedly intimate dinner together. Later that year, in November of 2018, Drake also settled a lawsuit for $350,000. The lawsuit was based around claims that Drake allegedly sexually assaulted a woman by the name of Layla Lace, who has further claimed that she got pregnant from the incident. So what about Kendrick's claims of Drake sex trafficking out of his property, the Embassy? Well, that's likely based around unverified claims that Drake pays an employee to drive around town looking for attractive women to interview and then drive to Drake for sex and then home afterwards. I'm not gonna lie, that does sound like sex trafficking to me, but hey, what do I know? The final element of Drake I want to address is his obsession with Rihanna. mostly because it's really weird, but it is also pretty funny. Let me add that this continues to this day, despite the fact that she is in a committed relationship with A$AP Rocky and they have 2 kids together. That being said, all the way back in 2009, there were rumors that Rihanna and Drake were dating as they had been seen bowling together with friends. It's a year later in 2010 that Drake basically confirms something occurred, as he dedicates 35 seconds of the song Fireworks to his frustrations with a girl, and then name drops Rihanna later that year in the song Made Men. Rihanna ends up denying dating Drake a year later in 2011, which is also the same year that Drake confirms Fireworks was about being hurt by Rihanna. In 2012, Drake and Chris Brown get in a scrap over Rihanna using bottles as weapons in a club, which results in Chris Brown and Tony Parker being injured. A year later in 2013, this interview footage of Drake was released.
You know, I love her and support her unconditionally, and I like to think that she feels the same way. And, you know, whenever...
Still fancy her though?
Do I fancy her? Of course. I mean, who wouldn't? Look at her. She's stunning. Of course I do. Yeah, no, she's incredible. But, you know, it's one of those things that it's a maybe one day, maybe.
The following year in 2014, in an interview with the Rolling Stone, Drake calls Rihanna the ultimate fantasy. Later that year, he also flashes images of Rihanna behind him during a performance. In 2015, Rihanna denied dating Drake to Vanity Fair yet again. Despite this, Drake opened up a restaurant named Fring, which is a nickname for Rihanna. 2016, Drake really goes ham as he does this impression of Rihanna on SNL.
I'm so excited to be here tonight. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. See Drake in a meme. But him not seem. Another joke again. I swear we only friends, alright.
Later stating this to Rihanna Live.
We might have to go half on the way.
And then he presents the reward to her like this.
The first time I met Robin Fenty, it was 2005. She was shooting a music video at a restaurant called Avocado in Toronto, and the director of the video was Little X. It's hard to believe that 11 years later, all 3 of us would come together to create the visual for a song called Work. Today, the world knows Little X as Director X. They know me as Drake and not the kid singing while you order pasta. But 11 years later, they still all know Rihanna as the one and only Rihanna. Captivating from day one, the iconic being that is Rihanna was already at a place where most artists only dream of going. For them, that's often the peak, but for her, that was a starting point, and she has kept ascending to an untouchable level ever since. When it comes to music, she relentlessly takes over the charts with every release. When it comes to performance, they swarm in masses just to be in her presence. Obviously. When it comes to fashion and style, she makes it seem so effortless until you try and do it yourself, which is when it gets a little awkward. What's most impressive isn't the endless list of stats, awards, and accomplishments. What's most impressive is the person. Some artists need to play a character to achieve success. Some need to downplay their own natural instincts to blend in. She succeeds by doing something that no one in this music industry does, which is being herself. This woman has surpassed all competition while still being the same girl from Barbados, surrounded by the same friends, speaking with the same accent, and never missing a crop over unless it's to come perform at OVO Fest, which we appreciate. We love the music which can change styles from album to album. We love the videos which change their artistic vision from year to year. But most of all, we love the woman who hasn't changed since day one. She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old. She's one of my best friends in the world. All my adult life, I've looked up to her even though she's younger than me. She's a living, breathing legend in our industry. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award for 2016, Rihanna.
Also, might I note, they have a panorama version of the video because that was a relatively new gimmick at the time, and you could just see the crowd freaking the fuck out when this happens. 2 years later, in 2018, Drake says this on stage.
All who have love for Rihanna.
I'm still not really sure what he was saying, but he additionally did this interview with LeBron.
The fairy detail, like, oh, Drake started a family with Rihanna, like, this is like so perfect. Or like, you know, Drake, yeah, it's like, it looks so good on paper. I wanted that too. Well, I mean, and I didn't get it too. By the way, I wanted that too.
Another 2 years later, in 2020, which might I add was the point at which Rihanna and A$AP Rocky started dating, Drake plays an unreleased song on a live stream which samples Rihanna.
Say hi, Em.
Cause she get more paper than I do, that shit attractive. Things that make me miss you, with Jen and Melissa.
On a different live stream, Drake also had an interaction with Rihanna in the chat where she called him thirsty. That same year, he spotted her hanging around Rihanna's childhood home in Barbados. I don't know what the fuck kind of tourist destination that is. That just sounds like some straight stalker activities to me. Especially considering the song he wrote about Rihanna a year later in 2021. That being Fucking Fans from Certified Pedophile, which he fantasizes about Rihanna being upset about him having his kid Adonis with another woman, alongside fan fictions of Rihanna not being happy with A$AP Rocky.
It's Drake on his phone for just an instant, alongside basketball czar of the Raptors, Masai Ujiri. 3 of maybe 100.
That was a clip from the same day Rihanna's pregnancy with Rocky was announced in 2022. The following year, Drake disses on Rocky in a bar and then releases a whole ass song dissing on Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, in which he assumedly tries to convince not just the world but himself that he isn't obsessed with Rihanna. Additionally, he's also copied Rocky's merch designs, and there's also this.
Yeah, I don't sing this song anymore. You can sing it for me.
And most recently, he released a bunch of footage on his website which include footage of him playing Fucking Fans, rehearsing Take Care with Rihanna, and wearing a shirt that had Rihanna on it in the studio. Okay, that is the most Drake content I have ever and will ever consume in my life. Before going into this research, my opinion of Drake wasn't particularly positive, mostly just holding the belief that I didn't like his music very much and I thought his voice was whiny. Really, I only even did the research because I've been a Kendrick fan for years, if that bias wasn't apparent throughout the whole video. Post-research, however, I have the opinion that Drake is at minimum a misogynistic, obsessive creep and shitty father. Anyway, as established at the beginning of the video, this is just part 1 of a series of videos that I'm going to be working on. This is everything that I've written already, and these are the individuals that I'm going to write about soon. If you're interested in seeing any of those, or you just thought the video was entertaining, a subscription with the bell button hit would be appreciated, as it would notify you when those come out. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Keep your eye open for the next part. Here is a teaser for that. It's going to be about iMelix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up. Because this one, genuinely, this one, you